Hey guys, I feel like I'm always so awkward when I come back to my channel or like introduce myself, but I know that I've been MIA. I think it was a cool second since I did the last video on like how I curl my short hair. But without further ado, let's not like, I'm gonna try not make this intro any longer. If you guys want to know how I got this like pink vibes glam makeup, then just keep on watching. So, as you can see, I'm going to start off by priming my eyelids. I don't really like to use an actual eyeshadow primer. So here I'm just adding the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer and the shade 10, which I believe is light. And excuse me, I'm a little stuffy. I'm getting over a cold. But I'm using like an angled concealer brush to kind of spread that all over my lids very seamlessly. And here I am, blending that out more. I have no idea why I rolled my eyes. And this wasn't going to be a voiceover, so it looks like I'm talking throughout it all, but it was just a way too long of a video to not be a voiceover. So then I just set it with like a beige color eyeshadow. So next, I'm going to take the Nyx Fire Palette. I'll try and leave it linked down below just because I didn't show a picture of it. But there's a color in there that's like a little terracotta. It really pulls off a more pink vibe, but it's actually more like a terracotta color anyways. So I'm like putting that in my crease. I start off by like focusing more on like my outer corner, like my outer crease, however you would explain that, and just try and build it up in the actual crease. And as you can see, I'm taking a lot of like going back into my palette and then going out of the palette. Oh my gosh, I'm so stuffy. Anybody else get horrible colds in the summer? What the actual fuck? So here we're just blending our little lives away. And then here I decided to go ahead and just place it on my actual outer corners. I'm like, check it out, my vibe. And then I was like, I'm gonna use this brush, and then it was dirty, so I was like, actually not. Oh my gosh, there goes me cracking my knuckles. I'm like so obsessed with it. Bitch, quit talking. Nobody even is listening to what you're saying. This tutorial is like a hot mess. And then I thought my music was too loud. And then I decided to dance for 2 seconds. There's that Nyx Fire Palette, though. Okay, so then I'm using the color Champagne Truffle from the Chocolate Bar palette from Too Faced. And I'm just using that to highlight my brow bone. Love this color. I think in a sec, or maybe I didn't show you guys the palette. My Chocolate Bar palette from Too Faced is so beat up. I actually have two of them. My first one looks like it been through hell and back. The second one looks like it's getting there. And then I'm going to use this sleek highlighting palette. And I was showing you guys those two little highlight shades. And I'm going to use the lighter highlight shade. And it really reminds me of Soft and Gentle from MAC. And I'm going to use this, it's just like a plain little flat brush. And I spray it with some rose water. And then apply it on my lid. And then I'm just going back into the palette and grabbing more of that color to just kind of intensify it. And then I just blended out my crease a bit more just so the colors wouldn't be so, like, it would be a little bit more defined. And then I just brushed I have eyelash extensions on, so I brushed them out. And there I was just, like, showing you guys a little close-up of the eyes. So, moving on to foundation, I am taking the Maybelline, I believe it's like 24-hour foundation in the shade 128. And first I need a little bit of energy drink because who else drinks energy drinks before going to bed? So, I'm going to add like 1 pump of this to the back of my hand. And I actually think that's all I use. I don't think I went back for much more. And then I'm getting my sponge a little bit wet. I always keep water on my vanity for my sponge because lazy problems. And I just like to spread it out on my face first. I feel like this helps me get like the most use out of the least product. Because if I like go all in one area, then like I tend to use up all the pump on like a certain area, and then my face looks really cakey. And I hate with the capital H cakey foundation. So here we are. And I use like a mixture of patting and like rubbing motions, as you guys can tell. I think that also helps spread out the product and it be a little bit less full coverage, because this can be a thick ass foundation. Get close to them brows. Since I don't conceal the top of my brows, I gotta like make sure I'm really like getting close to those with my foundation. Also, look at the aesthetic of this room. Why is that like cowboy thing hanging up there? Totally not me. Anyways, I'm using the same Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 10 underneath my eyes. I'm a little darker than I normally am, so now you can see me applying like the lightest shade in the Makeup Revolution concealers just to brighten it up a bit more. And then I thought somebody in my house was burning something, so I was like, are you guys burning something? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay. And then they definitely were burning something. And then I looked in a different mirror, a different angle, and I was like, blend that foundation out a little bit more. So then you have a singing break. Dang. I promise my next video, I'll know it's a voiceover, so it'll be a lot shorter. So then I was cleaning off a little concealer brush and just using the brush at first to just like disperse the product. I think helps you also like use a less product but get the most coverage out of it. And I think this helps you get like a really good coverage, not only in picture but also in person. So here I'm just using the same Real Technique sponge and just kind of like patting that into my skin. I kind of go all the way out to my hairline and then try and really get those little crevices on the side of my nose, because that's where my foundation always ends up looking crusty. I've been doing makeup for like 3-4 years and that's one thing that has not changed. And I've tried a million different concealers and foundations, but oh well. Okay, just keep patting that concealer in, you know, in your T-zone. And I was like, look, I'm over here looking for my translucent powder. So once I located my translucent powder, I made sure that I stayed looking up. You can see my eyebrows are a little raised while I set that in, just to try and avoid any creasing. Like, you don't want to let your eyebrows drop till you've set that. And then I'm also setting all the other places where I applied my concealer. And then I take whatever little powder is left on my sponge and kind of pat it in. And then since I don't really bake, I go ahead and dust off that excess powder and dust it onto my foundation. And it gives me like a light little like seal in my foundation, but like nothing too cakey. So now I'm taking shade number 3 in the Benefit Gimme Brow to just set my foundation. My eyebrows in place. My phone almost fell. That's why I had made that face. And then I'm taking this little dome brush from Real Techniques, and I'm gonna apply that same terracotta shade underneath my brows, my eyes. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what my body parts are right now. And first I'm focusing on applying it on the outer part of my lower lashes, and then just whatever's left on my product, I kind of apply that on the inner half of my bottom lash line, just so it wouldn't be as like intense on the inner part of my eyes. Now I'm showing you guys that beat up ass palette, and I'm taking that same champagne truffle shade and applying it on my inner corners. I'm like really kind of packing this on because I want it to show I'm like a slut for inner corner highlight. Like, give it all to me. And then I'm using, I believe this is Lash Princess mascara from Essence. Bomb ass mascara for some $3.99. Get it, girl. And so, of course, again, I have eyelash extensions, so I'm only applying this on my bottom lashes. But one of my lashes was like flipped around, and I could like see it hanging, and you see that? I was like trying to brush it up, and I had thought I brushed it up, and then it came back down. So here I am trying to fix it. And then I go a little bit ham on the bottom mascara just so it kind of evens out with all the top lashes that we got going on. So then here I am taking a refined golden bronzer from MAC, and I'm just going to use that to like bronze up my face. I don't really like to say that I contour. I just really like to bronze up because I feel like when you contour, you're trying to do like more defined things, and I don't necessarily define, but call it what you want to call it. And bronzing up with that. And I kind of like to go like back and forth with like applying a little bit at a time, because I have a tendency of where my bronzer can go muddy like real fucking quick, bitch. You know, make sure you get your temples. I kind of like to focus on like the sides of my forehead, and then just a bit like on the actual like center top part of my forehead. And then here I am catching like catch different angles of yourself, guys. I have like always have like 5 mirrors in front of me just to see like different angles. But then here I am just like pinching my brush a bit just to add something a little bit more defined. And then I'm taking this blush called Feisty from, I was gonna say Target, from Tarte, and just kind of like blending that in. It's really natural. I feel like you can almost not tell that I'm wearing blush. That's how I like my blush. And then I'm actually using this Tarte blush brush just to blend it all in. And then I kind of add some of my temples. I don't know why I have always done that. I always feel like I'm way too pale, so I try to add like color in different ways. And then I'm taking this like crease brush. It's a Morphe crease brush, blending brush. And using that to like bronze up my nose, because your girl needs it. Here I am trying to like not get a penis nose, but I low-key have one, so like what can we do about it? I also use that to define my my bronzer a bit more. Says she doesn't contour, but then uses 17 brushes to bronze. You could also cut your bronzer by like using translucent powder, but I'm not. There, I just sprayed some rose water on my brush, and then I'm taking the same color that's on my lid because, you know, we're versatile and we like to use as least products as possible. Just kidding, but for real, use one product in different ways, why not? And I'm just going to use that to highlight with this Anastasia brush. And then I just always like to like add a little bit of glow on my forehead. And then I'm going to use like a smaller like also blending brush to highlight my nose, because James Charles says if we use the same brush to highlight our face as our nose, we're doing something wrong. So then I'm going to use the same brush that I used to bronze with to just kind of blend that out so it doesn't look like your highlight is just sitting. And then I'm over here going to use this nude pink lip pencil from NYX Cosmetics to line my lips, but I'm over here telling you guys that I'm going for a pink vibe, but it wasn't sharpened, so I had to sharpen it real quick, so patience with me. But I was like, okay, first let me find the lip color I want, so it was this one, so I could like already have it. So okay, we're gonna hella overline. I literally have no lips. It's my biggest insecurity. That needs to be like my next birthday gift. Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, I don't know what. That's, if I wasn't so addicted to shopping, I maybe would have already had my damn lips done, but who else can relate? So here I am, like, so I overline, look in the mirror, overline, look back in the mirror, because I low-key know that people know that I overline my lips, but like, what can you do? And then I go ahead and fill in my lips. Am I the only one who does that? And then here I am going in with, now this color, I'm going to have to link it down below, but you guys probably aren't even going to find it. It was from that like Kiss Me subscription. I think it was like part of the Valentine's collection. But I ended up thinking it was like way too pink, as you're about to see. Like I had to sit back and like look at myself, and then look at myself close, and then look at myself on par. And I was like, no, bitch, like this is way too pink. So then I patted some off on like the back of my lip, which you should do anyways, just so you don't have like no excess. And then on top of that, I applied some of the matte Yash lipstick from MAC, and instantly I was like, yes, like that is so much better. So here I am just going over that, and it kind of like toned down the pink, because I feel like that's how my eyes are. Like it's like a pink, but like a pink that's not there. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call this a look. I liked that lip color. The only thing we're missing would be to do a little bit of, you know, Fix Plus. But like I said, I'm not actually going anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and leave the look like this. I hope you guys like this little, I'm going to call like pink vibes glam makeup. Not full glam, not natural either. So if you guys liked it, please let me know. I'm going to try and be better on being consistent from now on. So if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you set up the little notification thing wherever it's at, so it'll notify you every time I post a new video, and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next one.